Anyway, let's do video games. Anyway, I'm sure you remember what happened yesterday, unless you had a sudden case of amnesia. Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Isabella. Now with a bonus drunk guy. Oh boy. Group of witnesses huddling up before joint testimonies in a witch trial. Don't make this shit up. We now have 5 witnesses on the stand, so I must ask, why was this obnoxious looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses? All is right, Barnum. That's just cold-blooded. There is but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed. Huh? You, sir, failed to come forward. When we were asking for witnesses for this very trial, you were nowhere to be seen. That's 'cause I didn't hear a peep about it. I ain't usually around at night, except for maybe at Rouge's Tavern. They're basically telling us that you were up all night drinking. Anyway, it's all water under the bridge now, as far as I'm concerned. Just leave the rest to yours truly. Ha ha ha. During the last interrogation, the defender brought forth some surprising proof. Namely that there was little possibility the accused could have used magic. Never heard such a claim. It must be the doing of this logic. Oh my god. What rubbish. Logic, you say? Got a clue what that is. But I do know that this bread bacon baker ought to head back to the bakery. Oi, Gramps, give me and my partners over here a chance to speak. You want to know how this witch managed to be holding that scepter, don't you? Oh, when you say Gramps, you wouldn't mean me, would you? I fail to see anyone else meeting such a description. We'll show you who's a witch. I'll bet Snowy's beautiful white coat on it. On guard. Right, let's do this. Sure, whatever. The judge doesn't give any shit. It's clear as day, Isabella is a witch. We are not backing down on this. When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands. The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. It's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick. So she had the witch's scepter behind her back. She then dropped the lantern and reached for the scepter after it fell. If that's the case, then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic. Thanks to this guy, now all the witnesses seem extra determined to pin this thing on Isabella. Each harbor a shared anger towards witches and magic, which is the cause of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict passed as quickly as possible. However, such confidence is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking. I think you're right. I don't think these guys mean any harm, but they're all riled up. They don't even realize how distorted their idea of what happened tonight has become. I'm not sure about that, mostly because I know what's going on. Anyway. This isn't good, Professor. Witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth. You do not appear to be a mere simple baker, that much is clear. On the other hand, you are no ordinary defender either. Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here on this battlefield as an equal. So what you're saying is you've never had a fair trial in the history of this fucking place. Great. This trial has not yet been decided. If there is any doubt in your interrogation, I will not hesitate to strike you case where it stands. Or whatever. What do we got? There's another thing about this thing, but I don't think it sells as much. Boom. Actually, that's just fucking do your standard stuff and press everything. Hello, Bardic. Not backing down, you say? That's right. Isabella is a witch. That's her story, and we're sticking to it. This is a courtroom, Miss Kira. We're not interested in your story. We're interested in the truth. You know what I think? I think stories have the power to touch our lives in really meaningful ways. What do you mean? Last year I read a book about a flower girl who brought peace to the world with all the pretty flowers she sold. Because of that story, now I tell myself, Kira, one day you'll fill the world with beautiful flowers of your own. That story inspires me to sell more flowers. It's pretty much the same as this trial. What? It makes no sense. What a stupid shit-ass story. Indeed, I've heard nary a truer tale. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe it's just me, but I have preferred something a little more relevant. I'm afraid our logic may do us no good here. Let's move on to the next witness.
Hold it!
No matter how many times we ask, you still say you didn't see the scepter, huh, Gramps? I ask you, youngling, were you paying attention to this trial? Well then, magic made the scepter invisible, did it not? Thus my old age clouding out my vision has nothing to do with anything. But you do admit it. Alright, cool. Scepter actually vanished. No, what I'm saying is, if it really was invisible, you wouldn't be able to actually prove it. Not so, young one. We can prove it. The girl is a witch. There is your proof. So, my old age clouding up my memories has nothing to do with anything. Scepter magically vanished, you see. Okay, we get it. Fucking idiot. When the lantern fell, you claimed the scepter was still not in her hand yet. So that means... Scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. Witch's scepter was behind her back. Well, it's like my little snowflake here. Whenever my darling gets too heavy, I hoist him up and carry him on my back. I mean, your baby goat, right? Yes, there isn't a cuter little goat in this entire courtroom. Right, precious? I know it's been asked already, but you didn't see the witch's scepter, did you? Well, no, but it must have been made invisible by magic and then put on her back. You know, Snow is still such a tiny little thing. If I put him on my back, you can hardly see him. I hardly see the point of that comment. So the accused grabbed the witch's scepter, and then... Rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. Are you fucking fine, dude? Well, for one thing, you're hiding behind what I assume is a shield. Well played. You managed to see through my steel guard technique. What? Tried to penetrate the depths of my mind and deceive me once with your witchcraft of words, but you will find your words are futile against the strength of my shield, crafted from wood and ignorance. Now then, have at you. Attack me if you dare. Dude, are you for real? Looking at this sketch, it's quite clear the accused could not have held the scepter in the same hand carrying the lantern. Witness explained to the court just how the accused held the scepter. It's easy.
Hold it!
They put the milk bucket down? That's right. Reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection!
But none of the other witnesses have said anything about seeing her put the bucket on the ground. Ah, but no one said a thing about not seeing her put the bucket down either, right?
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary? Huh? You mean me? Tell me, what do you think of the witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now. Ah, that must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes.
Objection!
Miss Mary, you didn't mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. And yet you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on more than anything else was the milk bucket. Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket really was placed on the ground.
Objection!
One's memory is not flawless. Pay attention to what the witness was saying. The accused probably placed the milk bucket on the ground. There is a possibility such was the case. That's right, isn't it, my little cold pumpkin? I knew it. There's something fishy about her testimony, but indeed it would seem we require a decisive piece of evidence if we are to expose the contradictions in these witnesses' testimonies. Well, we don't really have that much evidence yet. Anyway, I'll ask about the other thing.
Hold it! Objection!
Yeah, everyone has something to say about that. I don't know if it's worth actually questioning everyone about this, but why not? Excuse me, Miss Kira. Sure, what's up? Tell me, what do you think of this witness testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground, blah blah. Well, you're right, how odd. Everyone must have simply forgotten, myself included. What? But yeah, Spella definitely did put that milk bucket down. That way, she was able to easily grab her scepter and use magic. Easy peasy, right? Looks like she's trying to peg a Spella as a witch every chance she gets. Really, I don't know how much more of this testimony can stand. Well, I don't think we're gonna get more evidence, so... What do we got here? Probably the milk bucket doesn't have any mud on it, so the problem is that. I'm gonna try this. Yep, there we go. I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? It only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Cannabella really placed this bucket on the ground like he claimed she did, then it should be caked with mud just like the lantern was after it fell. Well, I'd say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you? You just gonna sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here. That will get you nowhere, witness, other than perhaps the dungeon. At any rate, there's but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question? She rinsed it off, whatever. You admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add. When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket, is that correct? You know, now that you mention it, that milk bucket, that's right, I remember now. I don't know if if what was on the bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. For taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag. Are you for realsies? Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum. Right, it all makes perfect sense, see? You were right all along. I knew that sort weren't just for show, Barnum.
Objection!
You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket? Oh my, well, truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly, but I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home. A boot to the head. It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claim, of that we can be quite certain. That'll teach you, Bluey. Got that right. Do me a favor, will you, Gramps? I want to change my testimony just a bit. I'll allow it only if the witness refrains from name-calling me in the future. You got it, my lord. Well, all this court mumbo-jumbo has left me thirstier than a dog in a desert. Why would dogs be especially thirsty in deserts? I don't get it. That witch there was holding the stick. I even heard her say the incantation thingy. That's right. I witnessed.
Hold it!
But no one knows for sure if Miss Cannabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground. Because there's no mud on it. Is that what you're saying? Hey, we went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket. We really don't remember, but maybe... I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground. You all done? Talk all you want, cause it ain't gonna help, you see. 5 of us, we saw that witch went and did. We saw it clear as day. We didn't, and she didn't either.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister? Dude. Defender, when you say Grams, might you by chance be referring to me? No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening? I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all, the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice. If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly in deep thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony? Indeed so, I felt something was amiss. However, what that means, I cannot say. Witness, could you tell us what precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness? What a burn. 5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. No, really. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. The night when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air, the shadows of those present cast through the dim light present. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included. Or, hold on a second, You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight? These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw. It's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them, the other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. Quite sure of it. We're only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, man. What the fuck? You have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. Means we have one too many. Good job counting. Oi, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. Start stopping. All for one and one for all, remember. We all promised to take the switch down together, didn't we? Not quite that simple. We saw what we saw. Well, I say it's all about numbers, and I counted, I say. I'll have you know my counting is flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise. 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, what difference does it make? Things all started getting muddled when you showed up. What you saying it's my fault? Who's there, you fool? Didn't I just finish saying that? My testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless. Shut the fuck up! What? I've never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. There is but one answer to this puzzle, a single possibility. What do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet currently we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. Certainly it's quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright? Well, out with this supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses? Oh my god. Well, it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, and the real murderer in this case, is actually one of those 5 witnesses. What? You what, mate? You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? Well, that's rubbish. There's no possible way that such a claim could be true. That's right, you got a lot of nerve accusing us of being a witch. Told you nothing but the truth, yet you still have the gall to beat around such an outrageous accusation. Behold, I remain ignorant. Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Certainly, my lord. I have one here. Feast your eyes. Requested it from the court illustrator just in case. Very well. Witnesses, I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now. Holy shit, the fucking judge is actually doing something for once. Looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. And it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman. Court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. Now, remember when yesterday I told you all about that one curious name that is curiously out of place? Well, now you know. That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation, should it prove to be a false one. You will find yourself at the other end of my sword. I'll make myself clear. Huh? But that wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it. Same thing. Yeah, same thing. Now, ready your sword. Ready? Are you listening? Claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime. Can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight, only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Ah, puns. Here's where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place. Well, in the forest. One of them, anyway. What was it? I know who it is, but I think the game doesn't want me to just fucking say it straight up. Whoops. What am I gonna do? Well, it has to be within a 10-meter radius, I remember that much. In the forest, maybe? I don't know.
Got it.
Nope. I'm not sure what the game asks of me. Keep in mind that the real witch is among the witnesses, so we cannot be completely certain that their testimonies are all true. God damn it, game. And like, I know it's fucking... I know, game, I know what you want to tell me about this. 1 meter radius. Oh, not 10, okay. So I guess just fucking point here.
Got it. Objection.
What? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection.
Inquisitor Barnum, I suggest you try looking at this. Grand Grimoire. According to this tome, Ignace summons a circle of flame within 1 meter radius of the costume. In other words, the witch had to have been with 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection.
Of course, you needn't say any more, Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in the area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection.
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there's one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight. This is even blah 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 blah.
Take that.
What are you talking about? The scepter is a fucking... Oh, I have to present the thing, not the scepter. Fuck you, game. It's the same thing, you know what I meant. God damn it. Fuck
Take
you.
that.
Eustalia Magica contains 2 magic gems. Nays, see it fucking should. Fuck you, game. Nays and the other spell, that's right, the spell Dimere. That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Dimere. While they're in the court, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Dimere to make Talia Magica disappear.
Objection!
According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Dimere, causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear. Are you saying that's the reason for the conflicting number? Indeed it is, which means witnesses someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not? That's right, we are not witches. So much desk slamming. Witnesses, I ask you to listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right, I'm afraid you're all no longer brothers in arms. True opponent here is within your own group. Real witch. You wish to know where we are all... You wish to know where we are... You wish to know where we were all standing tonight. It matters not. Would the flames not burn just the same? That flame, I never saw anything quite like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the lighters were roasting. They rushed right over. I heard the incantation, then the flames suddenly erupted. Certain of it, I only saw 3 people there with us. As I said, there were only 3 others present. Like that man there, who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. Most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. Which amongst the witnesses was not really baseless claim? The only baseless claim in this case is Isabella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. Press all the things. In other words, you're not sure exactly what happened tonight, is that right? Fender, I fought with burning vigor this night. I fought with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts. Right. The knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Ha! No one even said anything about running away. I may be perfectly straight with you. A pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There by the fire was the witch, and excluding the 2 unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
What?
Hang on!
Excuse me? What do you want? You looked like you had something to say. Well, it was about the number of people. Have you ever played the Daisy Pebble game? 1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses. What an adorable game. It seems like something out of a fairy tale. Seriously. Anyway, you may continue your testimony. Die. Flame, I never saw anything quite like it.
Hold it!
Must have been pretty terrifying, huh? Yep, kind of thing you only read about in books. The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up. It was so difficult to breathe, I couldn't even manage so much as a scream. After all, the flames engulfed the scene in a blink of an eye. I can't really remember. So you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene. Naturally, that's understandable. Also why I was a little late on getting to the scene compared to the others. Heard the tiniest cry. Wait, hold on, did she? No, she's not anything particularly.
Hold it!
Tiniest cry? Might have been someone saying the incantation of for that spell. My memory's kinda hazy on that one. Got me good though. Never jumped up to me feet so fast in all my life. Nearly had a heart attack, I tell you. Jumped up. Right. Still raining cats and dogs. So being the resourceful chap that I am, I decided to doze under a tree for a bit.
Hang on!
So,
Hang on!
wait, what? It doesn't look like she has anything to say. Good does though. What was that all about now? Why did it suddenly switch? Fuck you, game.
Hold it!
Blah 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 blah. Let me switch. Why are you doing the slow text? Stop it.
Hang on!
I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree. Of course I could not nap tonight, not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I? Are we using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Okay, so that was entirely pointless too. Great. Heard the incantation and the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely certain? Well, I believe so, but then when you think about it, can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything? Believe the witness means that there is no way she can be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene. Anyhow, there was a matter of great importance that Snow and I had to tend to. That's right, the milk. If any soot had got into that milk, it will be the tragedy to end all tragedies. I'm pretty sure what he's asked to say is absolutely pointless. As I was saying, I ran as fast as I could to get the girl away from the flames. Then I took the milk bucket from her and wrapped it up in my scarf.
Hold it!
So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That's how it has come to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf? Ah, yes, that was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say. You must mean the witness permanently glued to this cup of whatever it is. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from the shock, you see. When the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over.
Hang on!
Something the matter. He claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that? Gonna set the record straight now. I in no way was stumbling around anywhere. I like to think of it more like staggering with style. A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night. Hey look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I got more sense than that. But anyway, I kind of tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So, you could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run. My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Whatever. Coins. Yeah. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you? Well, to be honest with you, ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught my attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out my name. Heard your name? Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right? So, you heard someone call out, "Hey you," from behind you, mean? What? I said you called out my name. How many of you guys do you know called "Hey you"? Your name is Emir, and don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me? I must say this gentleman really does not strike me as an Emir. You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh? Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who is aware of this man's name prior to now? Not at all, he's always just been Mr. to me. Knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries. It is the first I've heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Emir. I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers. Okay. Looks like absolutely no one knew his witness name. No, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. Ha ha ha. Seriously. I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be my age, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me sweetie. Let's just forget about that. I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the important points. I'm telling ya, I heard someone call me name and I was looking around to trying to find him.
Hold it!
I mean, Emir, it's all the same. Said to me that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure about that? Well, right or wrong, it sure sounded like my name. I mean, what else could it have been? I wouldn't have remembered it happening if I hadn't heard something, right? Still. Maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me. Somewhere behind you. Mr. Emir's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, then there's definitely something there. I don't know, there's just something strange about his testimony. I mean to say that you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence. My lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time. Then I must warn you, from here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly. If you don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and for Isabella. Your intent on finding a fault in this witness's testimony, you will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims. Oh my god, what do you do? I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need for evidence. Now, defender, give us your answer. Defense finds that the witness's testimony contains a clear contradiction. Defense believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony. What? You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you? I may interrupt your trust in allow me to ask you this: what the need is for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. What? You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the remaining weapon in this cross-examination. This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not? Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. Gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing. There's something else we can get from a 5-person examination? That's right, of course. Indeed, Mr. Wright, contradictions. Should one witness's testimony differ from another's, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not? Enough! Hold on. Hold on. Oh man, can't find it. Never mind then. Evidence proving the contradiction within this witness's testimony. The witness' testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony. Oh my god. Yeah. Gameplay mechanics. I think it's his, isn't it? Because if he saw him stumbling around, then he was behind him and should have seen whoever was calling his name. Maybe, I don't know. Let's try it. Nope. Whatever, man. Fine and just fucking.
Objection!
Double the pointing. Miss Hate. What's up with your name? At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name. That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak. See, the problem with that line of thinking is... Okay, hold on. We have to assume here that if whoever we accuse here is the actual witch, in which case it makes sense for them to actually lie about where they were, which means they couldn't have been there, which means it doesn't make sense for her to have been on the map where she marked to be, Which means nothing fucking makes sense anyway. Whatever.
Objection.
Can you really claim to trust this sham of witness and this sham of a testimony?
Objection.
That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over. He heard a woman's voice calling his name, a very concrete reason and a reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection.
If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible. Right, why me? People barely hear me when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. Besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? What are you getting at? You honestly think a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with questionable men? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him? Neither did I, and even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want? Come on, ladies, I'm staying right here, you know. As I was saying, the only person that guy could have hurt from behind was you, Miss Kira. The defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim. Accuse a witness like this young lady here, why this is simply unheard of. Unlike that other young girl up there who is currently in the cage, standing on trial for being a witch, who was also accused of being a witch, simply unheard of. I must warn you, defender, if you cannot prove your accusation, blah blah. Here's the evidence.
Take that.
Take a look at this and you'll have your answer. You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person that he could have possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection.
Now that you mention it, seeing as I've fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face. Hey, but you heard her voice, right? Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere. It was kinda high-pitched. And I guess it kinda sounded like her, but I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice. And there you have it. Such a pity. My lord, it is clear that the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior. Indeed. Ready yourself. Pardon me, my lord. Looks like you've finally arrived at a decision. That means this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right? What? I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers. I mean, look at all these flowers left over. I'm going to take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers to help a girl out? Nope. Then it's settled. Now if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption. Well, Miss Kira, it would seem that you're beginning to show your true colors. What do you mean?
Hold it.
Now that's funny. You say it isn't over, and yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right? The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused Isabella. The girl has nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will. You really like throwing out accusations, don't you? let me spell it out for you one last time so even you can understand. I didn't know this man's name at all before today. I still don't remember it. So I could have called out to him. Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Hold it.
One moment. Something else. You don't seem to realize what you just let slip. What? Man testified that he heard his name called out at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time, is that correct? Right. I used the spell that sounds just the same. That makes me invisible. Invisible. Namely, what the voice you heard tonight was actually saying. What do you mean? You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else. Indeed. Oh my god! That's right. A single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Ridiculous. Witness, what you're being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains.
Take that!
Excuse me, miss. Sorry, what's your name again? Got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason. Mir. No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Emir. Again, I only remember my most loyal customers, blah blah. Come on, guys. Mr. Emir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like it. It rhymes with deer. So someone saw a deer running around and was like, oh my god, see that deer? What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation. You woke me. Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's names.
Objection!
You're saying that the Emir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather incantation of a magic spell. The defense proposes the following. True criminal, the supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Espella Cannabella, but instead the witness who is heard uttering the magic incantation. I wish I had kept up the Roman pronunciation of the spells, because then it would have been much less obvious. That's... Whoa...
Objection!
An impressive display. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your whatever. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull. What do you mean? I'm referring to a contradiction, naturally. Lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight. I wish every fucking reference to setting something straight or getting something straight would straight be STR8. Because for some reason that's fucking hilarious to me. regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. Time to Kira cast a spell Dimera and made herself vanish. Then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignaze, causing the incident seen by our 4 witnesses tonight. Indeed, that does seem to be the claim. Problem is what happened next. There's a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements. Witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Miss Kira the witch made her way to this point while still invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast Amire and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. Well then, I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing? What do you mean? Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene. Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch.
Inquisitor Barnum said? Me? A witch? The idea is laughable.
You just have to take one good look at something. Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail. Sure, you have had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. The situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time? I will bluff my way out of it. It would seem the defense has nothing further to add. Why, of course, that's because everyone knows the truth. That settles it, then go ahead and deliver your verdict, bitch.
Objection!
The situation is exactly as you described. Really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used Omene. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? For what raison? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why did it use it in the first place? That was fascinating. Very well, allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. The reason... Whoops, I didn't even get to do the thing.
Objection!
Becoming a witness on purpose would accomplish nothing. She may as well have sat in hands and watched the trial. Defender, something tells me you must be thinking something along the lines of, he is absolutely right. Ugh. Why would it have been necessary for the witch to reappear at the crime scene? Okay. I mean... why not? Oh man, we didn't get a special text for that. Disappointing. Think about it. What would you have to hide if no one could have seen her to begin with? No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to reappear. Assuming I was the criminal, that is.
Objection.
Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case. You have stated that Miss Kira had no raison to appear. However, the situation changed and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira? What are you talking about? Also, plus Kira in Japanese literally means hate. Anyway. It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence. Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene, or that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear. Oh, Papa. What was so important that she had to reappear and risk spotted? I guess? Don't really know. Can I even look at this? Yeah, I don't know why Layton isn't running this. He knows everything anyway. And coins because I don't want to replay this fucking shite. Yeah,
Take that!
Usually wear glasses. Like I already told you, I lost my glasses a few days ago. Are you absolutely sure? Or did you not in fact lose them tonight, during the crime? Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses. What?
Objection.
I guess... And that makes... Like, this casts question on how does this fucking disappearance magic even work? Like... It's... You know, does everything attached to an object become invisible once you touch it? Or do you have to touch each object individually? At which point do objects become attached or not? And how does, like, reappearing work? Does... Huh? Anyway, whatever. I guess the implication here is that she lost her glasses. They were still invisible, and by counting Amara, even though she was not touching the glasses at the time, they reappeared. And that doesn't really make sense. And whatever. What do you mean? Let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. Doesn't it explain what purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear, but still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness.
Objection.
Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan was simply not possible. He means the raison Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. This is it. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear? Couldn't find her glasses. If you've noticed, she's still not wearing her glasses now.
Objection.
Hold a moment, what does that have to do with anything?
Objection.
Or you're wrong, in fact it changes things quite a bit. Tonight the two victims were engulfed by flames courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the scene. It was at that point that something you didn't expect occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. That's right, you were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene of the crime, you would be suspected of being a witch.
Objection.
So, you could simply have explained that she dropped them there days before the crime happened.
Objection.
So the idea here is that as soon as an object ceases to touch you, it becomes... It like reappears? Okay, I guess. Because that's simply not clear. I am afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Barnham. As a programmer myself, I feel insulted by the lack of clear semantics to this magic shit. Don't you say? Recall it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. Had she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally one would expect the glasses to be soaked in water and covered in mud. However, the rain had already stopped at the time the crime itself was committed. In other words, one look at the pair of clean, dry glasses would reveal she had dropped them later. Should have known. I was perfecting my rainfall rending technique in the forest, and not once during the rainfall did I see the flower maiden traveling alongside the nearby path. Not all. In order to frame Miss Cannabella as the witch, you needed to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of the crime. See, that would be the most definite evidence that she is the witch. The objective here was to have somebody else discover this stuff at the scene. However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce which spells were used simply by examining the magic gems on the scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used the mirror to vanish from sight and make her escape. That's why you were left with no option but to reappear at the crime scene. That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion if someone were to discover your glasses at the crime scene. By reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what happened.
You know, I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over. So that's it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again. Over 1,000,000 times! I lost my glasses, I lost my glasses! Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. Ha! You can't prove it!
Bad voice acting, though, than P3.
You lose.
Proving such a thing would be impossible, even though we just explained how what it would have been anyway. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of which. Do people still use TV tropes? Like the website? Seems like a fucking thing of internet pos. It would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say. You find something funny here? No, no fun allowed. It's as you said, Inquisitor Barnum. Defense raises just one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses? What do you mean? You must have searched the area quite thoroughly looking for them. And yet, even now, the Knights have been unable to locate those glasses. And did you ever wonder why? There is still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight. The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving on only one other place. Have at you, Sir Blue Knight. Draw your blade and reveal where they were hiding.
Take that!
There was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene right under everyone's noses. And the milk bucket. Thus far, the defense's claim that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if Miss Kira, find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation will suddenly become fact. What manner of witchery are you talking about? It's crazy. You're a maniac. How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? This mandated that the Knights of the Inquisition investigate any and all possibilities during the course of the trial. That's news. My lord, the Inquisition requests that the milk bucket be searched immediately. Drink that milk. The what? Miss Kira, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk bucket. The truth is out. Nothing you can say can change that now. Leads us to the next question, specifically a question of when. When did you drop the glasses into the milk bucket? The answer is obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards. Took a tiny peek inside the milk bucket, that's when it fell in. Don't be stupid. Snow and I were at the scene first. We made sure to take the milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little hands on it. We weren't going to let a single soul get anywhere near that sweet, creamy bucket of deliciousness. You can bet my farm on that. Each of these 4 witnesses has stated they heard the spell Ignace being cast at the time of the incident. According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignace summons a circle of... Indeed. That is when the glasses fell in, therefore there is only one logical conclusion, only one person who could have done it. Double point.
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
I wish he would have fucking walked backwards and then tumbled into the pit of fire. That would have been funny. What a strange trial. From the very beginning we have all paid witness to a most unusual set of circumstances. A big returned defender, a surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. Never have I seen such a spectacle.
Miss Kira, tell us why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this.
I did it for the lulz.
What it feels like.
I didn't ask for this.
Hey, you ain't Adam Jensen.
I didn't
Can't
ask
use
for
this.
I was
Quote, stop talking.
You all know what I mean? The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials.
When the great witch Bezella has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul in sight. I always carried my hip. I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end, and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What? What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly? Are you actually accusing Espella Cantabella?
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time. She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Why nobody has ever seen her? Hold on, there's so many more reasons why that could be. What the fuck?
Part of the story?
Objection!
That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please. I know you've all noticed it too. You could end this. All of this. That girl. It's all because of that girl. I beg you, please. She's Knights of the Court. Isn't it your duty to...
That is where you're wrong.
Huh?
'Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk. The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch. The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword.
No.
Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please, wait! Stop! Please, just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials, let me take a... Please! If it would save her life!
This trial has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira, is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Did he say executed? He can't mean...
You mean that scene we saw when we entered here, where someone was dropped into the fire pit? That wasn't a joke? Oh my god!
This is most unsettling.
Bailiff, ready the fire.
No!
No! Don't do this!
Listen to me! Don't let her fool you! Isabella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Brazilla! Take her! And then these witch trials will be no more! The witch trials will end!
By the way, the reason this is all still PG and whatever is because the fire pit is a jape. Spoilers! But I don't give a shit. So far, we've always managed to pull off a win and get a not guilty verdict, but winning has never felt so depressing because I didn't read the script. Oh, Isabella, you're right. Just want to thank all of you for burning that person. That was cool. Yeah, of course we would. Hold on a sec. What did you say just now? All came to my rescue yet again. What do you mean? Remember everything. I remember the lost trial. It makes it PG because she did not actually die. Like, it's only a hole in the ground. You'll see later. Whatever. It's really lame. Suppose that makes this the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me. Right, am I to infer that you and Isabella have met before? Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what's transpired. Okay, what should we discuss? I would like to discuss saving this game. That would be nice. Bella paid as a wizard in London. She had a... Why are we recounting all this fucking shit we heard 3 times before now? It's better because you japed. It was a joke. And then... I mean, arguably, it's not really... I don't know, like, you could argue that it's not really violence if they don't die, or whatever. If they actually get away unscathed. I don't know. I don't care. Why are we fucking counting this shit? We already know. You could have just done a thing like a fucking blend over. They discuss the shit we already know. Why are you telling me all this again? Tag that was hanging around the neck of the sweet soup. I had a lot of time to think while I was on the ship. I thought a lot of things, like how to try and find a way back. Way back to Mr. Layton, look. London, that's what was written in London, it's a must. That's what was written on Carmine's letter to Layton. The blue teddy bear found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck. On that tag, in very small letters, was written London, it's a must. I recognized that name of the town, I thought it was blah blah. That's right. Spelling, you must have known that address was super important. So that's why I kept the tag, right? That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again. Oh yeah, guess we never did find out who the real culprit was. Could be that they noticed our escape onto that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way aboard. Fucking hell, it's almost midnight. Can I save game? So, you're saying there was some big scary witch lurking around the inside of that cargo hold. Right, there is a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in a situation. In other words, the situation was Miss Al Dente. Precisely. You must have knocked that crew member unconscious and attempted to recapture Spella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, given that she ended up in court regardless. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she was a serious problem. Meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Isabel's true identity. I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought. Just exactly who or what are we dealing with here? Who knows? Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us with one heck of a pastry. Actually, can't go home just yet. There's still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go ahead without me. I'm sure nothing bad will happen again this time. Yeah, this game is sort of like if you Layton stories by themselves are already a far stretch because they do like steampunk science fiction bullshit and like conspiracy crap and like super advanced technology that somehow exists in one corner of the world but nowhere else and all sorts of stupid shit. And this is sort of as if you multiply the insanity of Layton with that of Ace Attorney, and then you get like pretty much, yeah, just double that, double the dose. There we go. Alrighty then, I'll catch you later. Can I save? Nope. No save for me. Please allow me to pleasure a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton, Professor. Phoenix Wright. I mean, I really did believe I've been a baker all my life, but the more everyone kept saying it, the less sure I was that it was actually true. Mr. Wright is an attorney, that must mean he's as smart as you, right? Haha, I'm afraid I can't really say wow. Burn. But behind every ace attorney there's an even smarter gnome, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant. Barnham, most impressive work tonight. It's a shame you have kept such ability hidden until now. Trust me, next Laurie, your abilities beat the pants off his speaking abilities any day of the week. Moving on, what do you mean by that? Layton is safe. New charges have been brought against Miss Cannabella. He is being charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Bizella. What? How can that be? I'm meant to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation. It was not I who made the decision. Regardless, the girl will return to the court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I'm to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. When exactly is this appointed time? The investigation in this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. That will be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed. It would appear the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you all. Bella Cannabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. Means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately. Ghost Trick was amazing, yes. Maybe I'll stream it someday. A story that dictates the fate of an entire town and now a so-called Great Witch named Bizella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries. Are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Are we going to find any evidence? You know, I was thinking, how do you address the Great Witch? Hail to thee, oh magnificent magical one. Or maybe just, what's up, witch baby? What difference does it make? She's called a Great Witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet. I believe I've thought out the solution to your problem. It's actually rather simple. Allow me to explain. The only way we may be able to prove the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces. Okay, I'm bored. Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story, one dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands. Finally, I can save. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Enough of this. Stop. What time is it? Almost midnight. God damn it. I would have liked to stream some more Burnout Paradise, actually, but this took longer than I assumed it would. So I'm not gonna do that, unfortunately. Right, probably more stuff tomorrow. Probably, things. But, until then, I guess, have a good night and whatever. Thanks for joining me and whatnot. Hopefully I won't be as tired as today, but I'm not sure actually. I might do some more Rune Factory tomorrow. I kind of feel like doing that as well. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. We will see. Unite!